Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, and I am calling to order the September 28th, 2023 Planning and Zoning meeting. Can we take the roll, please?
Yes. Ishmael Harris.
Here.
Judah Ross.
Here.
Ashley Henson.
Here.
David Barrow.
Here.
Gary Moss.
Here.
Patrice Parsons.
Here.
All right, we have enough for a quorum. I would like to start with citizen comments. Do we have any citizen comments at this time?
Yes, sir, we have
Right.
one.
So we have Myra Gelp. Okay. Please.
I just signed up, so in case you all had questions when my item came up, that there was no.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to waste your time.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move to item 3A, items for individual consideration. Consider action to approve meeting minutes from the August 31st, 2023 Planning and Zoning Committee meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Let the record show that we have a unanimous vote. Item 3B, consider action to approve minute meetings from the August 31st Impact Advisory Committee meeting.
I move that we accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Let the record show that we have a unanimous decision on that as well. On to item 3C. Consider action to approve Burleson Crossing East preliminary plat being 19.81 acres situated in the Nancy Blakely Survey, abstract number 98, located in the northeast corner of State Highway 71 and Edward Burleson Drive within the city limits of Bastrop, Texas, as shown in attachment 1. Doug?
All right. Good evening. Yes, so we're bringing this one back. As you guys know, we just recently approved the planned development district for these guys, which included the extra warrants that are now a part of the planned development district. And so tonight is going to be on the preliminary plat. There are really no major outliers on this one. The couple of things that we did address are on the street side of it, the wagon wheel that goes through the middle. That street is still going to be private, and it is a separate lot on there. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so. So right through the middle here, that's the wagon wheel. That is, I think it says it's lot 6, I believe. And so that will still be the private drive that traverses the property. And then just south of that is the other lot there that is the detention pond. Outside of that, those are probably the two biggest changes on there. And then on the north side of the development is the right-of-way for Blakey. The right-of-way does go through the, it's not on there. In your packet, you'll see that that other red box that's around that Blakey up there. But it is, basically it goes around, or traverses north of the property into the neighboring property, the Duff property there, and traverses around the daycare that's on that eastern side of the property there. That is going to be a street reserve. It will be kept in that for, I think it is 3 years. It's actually 3. Well, the map is on 4, yes. The wording is on 3.
If you look at the very top, you'll notice that it kind of, instead of a straight line, it kind of goes diagonal through it. So, Doug, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
So to be clear on the part above, we're keeping the daycare, correct?
Yes,
So this is,
absolutely.
they're allowing a easement or something for pass-through traffic so that the daycare can remain?
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
The other question I have is that with the transition to wagon wheel into a private road, who's holding them accountable for upkeep and everything? I mean, are they taking care of it themselves? They don't have to answer to anybody?
Yes.
Or does the city have some sort of say in, hey, here's some cracks, hey, your curbs are out of whack? Please walk us through that process.
Sure. Yes, overall, the maintenance will be part of the developer and the businesses that are around there. If things start deteriorating, going bad, then, that obviously affects the whole development. And so I think that they will be proactive on being able to take care of that street maintenance and all that. I anticipate being able to work with those guys, and if we see stuff, I'm sure we'll be able to talk to the developer and the rest of their team on that side to ensure that stuff is kept up to city standards.
So is there any kind of enforcement then? I mean, does the city have the right to enforce, or is it just
You can.
are going to, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just letting him know he can come up here. Can you come speak into the mic, please? Please introduce yourself. I know you've been up here, but let us know again.
Steve Derman, I'm the developer for Burleson Crossing and then now Burleson Crossing East. In the PDD agreement, it talks about the development standards I have to adhere to, and the city has rights over that. So yes, there are stuff in there that says I have to maintain at a certain level, and I have to build it to the city standards. See, this was a public street that we got approved, and so we wanted to go with private, so we would build it and maintain it. So we've agreed to that, and that's what it's done. But in the PDD, there's about 40 pages of development standards that we have to adhere to. It's a lot like the shopping center next door, which we maintained.
I have one more question.
Yes.
Where this begins, I'm having a hard, I can't remember what road that is. I guess it's 304.
304?
Yeah, where the road starts there, will there be any kind of light? Is there just going to be a stop sign? Because that road right in there between Lowe's and the lights is always such a mess. I'm just
Yeah, what we're trying to do is something that I can't do because it's a standard. But what the real problem is the fact that we did a TIA on this property, traffic impact analysis. 40% already is coming from behind, and it's not going to the shopping center. It's going through the intersection to get. So the biggest things we got to do to adhere to your problem right there at Lowe's, which is a problem for me in the center, is to get the intersection working better, and what we're doing there, and Blakey built. So what we're going to do is part of our development is we're going to expand Burleson and add left turn lanes, and then adjust the lights there and on the back side of it. And then we're working to get a frontage road with TxDOT, an extra right turn lane into that, so you get the movements and people are moving faster. But the main issue that's going to fix it the most is getting Blakey extended and getting it to the deal, and that's why we've given the portion of the right-of-way that goes around the deal, and then I've got reserve in case, I left you guys reserved to go straight in case you can't do that, but I don't see why you won't be able to. So that's what we did.
This could be a question for Doug, but can you just explain to me how the street reserve works? So did we acquire the rights to the land from the north landowner? And what does it mean it's going to revert back?
Yeah, so the question, we actually recently just got approved for, I believe, eminent domain across there in order to obtain that right away for Blakey across that particular property. And so, yes, once it goes, we have a time period. I think it's 3 years is what it is, and to give us the time in order to build that and make all the improvements to go across there, and then it goes north off that property and over easterly.
If I could just, I'll
Sure.
be clear. How do you get the red thing? Top one? All right. This right here, that's not reserved. That's given to you guys for the road,
Okay.
Blakey. This is what we're reserving in case you can't get that. And it's a 3-year reserve plus 1 more year to get it built.
But they would have to get rid of the daycare in order to go that route?
Okay. Yeah, not only that, my understanding is these folks don't want to be dealt with either. So, but the daycare is way over here, and it's built right on the property line. It's right there. The easiest thing to do and the least expensive, and there's been talk, it's just the lady that's been involved in this, she's getting elderly, and I guess she's not there, and we're going to have to talk to the son, but I'm going to help deal with that. But Blakey needs to go like that and kind of come around an angle, and it'll be better on the backside too. So that's what's being done. But you'll have right of way either way. What I wanted the other one in is for reserve in case, and I have a time limit because if I get in there and develop, I don't want to get left with this little piece of land. At some point, we've got to make a decision. So that's all. But the part you need to do, what we really need to do, is given to you.
And I guess just for more further clarification on there, as far as drainage and things like that, there is that pond that I talked to, or that I mentioned first. Which is here. That's the main detention pond there, and then everything else will go to that location or run westerly over to the Burleson crossing.
To that detention pond?
To the detention
Right.
pond over there.
Okay.
Yep.
Is this one here going to be roughly about the same size as that one there?
Yes. It'll be a little bit smaller, I think, but it will be good sized. And then as far as the other utilities, wastewater, or water and wastewater will be with the city of Bastrop, and then electric is Blue Bonnet for that. So,
Is there anything being done outside of just the detention ponds? I'm just asking because I know at times I've seen that one fill all the way up to the brim. Say if we have that one filled up and, well, yeah, that's the truth there. Hey, maybe you'll give us a reverse effect. All right, so just wondering, right, because that spot can flood pretty bad.
Yeah, it does. When we have problems with it filling up, it's not because of the pond. Well, back in 15, we had 12 inches in a day and a half. That filled it up, but it didn't go over. But the problem has been downstream. They don't keep it clean in the waterway, and it causes it to back up. That's when, and then I get a rain, and then it fills up, and then I know I got to go and get them to clean it downstream. Because the water runs across through the culvert right there in front of Home Depot, and then it turns and it goes, and that's been a problem for a long time. But that's what causes our backup. But we've also the other thing that we've done is we've proven up the pond and this pond between the two of them. We're going to be we make Atlas 14, which is really difficult now that's basically the 500-year flood. And so we have that in place. Because again, we own it, and we don't sell, so if it floods, it floods us, and I don't want that. So.
Steve, before we go away, make sure I absolutely understand this part at the very top up here where you're coming back. You're actually giving up some of your land.
Yes.
Back for that. So
I'm giving along for Burleson, along the right-of-way for that, and then Wagon Wheel.
Right.
And Blakey.
Gotcha.
And it could be all the way across.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm hoping not.
And this is mainly in an effort to save the daycare, or just to work with us in general?
It makes sense. At the end of the day, it should make sense. That's why.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have anything else? All right, go ahead.
I'll make a motion.
What are you making a motion on?
I recommend that we accept the recommendation of the city to pass as stated.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Call roll, please.
Commissioner Harris,
Yes.
Gary Moss,
Yes.
Judah Ross,
Yes.
Ashley Hinson,
Yes.
David Barrow,
Yes.
Patrice Parsons.
Yes.
All right, let the record show a unanimous decision. Thank you. And we're looking forward to seeing what you bring.
I'm looking forward to not having to deal with all that traffic.
Yeah, and how you can help. All right. All right, on to item 3D. Consider action to approve West Bastrop Village Phase 1, Section 2 preliminary plat consisting of 72.446 acres out of the Nancy Blakely Survey A98 located west of FM 20 within the statutory extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Bastrop, Texas, as shown in attachment 2. We're ready for you, Doug.
All right. So, yes, West Bastrop Village. This is one that we tabled at the prior meeting, and that was in regards to the maintenance of the roads in the streets that we have for county and city. And so I guess if we want to go back over the background of it, 72 acres. It's, like I said, ETJ. It's slated for residential houses, about 1,200 units out there. It's going to be, the water, wastewater will be through a MUD with the city, with the city wholesale agreement. Drainage is all on site, transportation out there, they're building all the streets, as you guys know. And then they got about 22.5 acres of reserve open space. So I guess the biggest thing to note for everyone is that you'll see underneath the street section there, it says all infrastructure required for public roads, drainage, or other public infrastructure will be maintained by the MUD or HOA until a time that it may be accepted by a governmental entity. And so what that is doing is...
I'm old. Can you talk a little bit closer to the mic so I can hear you?
Sure. Is that better? So ultimately what that ends up doing is that it buys time for all of the parties to get into agreement so we can understand who's going to maintain those roads and if the city and or county will ever maintain those. So as of right now, it's going to be with the MUD or HOA that is going to be in place that takes care of the rest of the maintenance and utilities and all the rest of that stuff within the development. So outside of that, nothing else has changed since the last time that you guys have heard it. I don't know if there's any other questions you have or concerns.
So the difference from last meeting is that previously it was going to be the county's responsibility, is that correct?
Yes, which they did not want to accept. All those extra roads, they're just not built to their standards, built to a city standard actually, which is a higher standard, if you will, just due to curb and gutter and things like that for drainage. And so county did not want it. And so we got all parties together. We actually met here and discussed it with the attorneys and drew up it's plat note 22 on there that shows that it's now going to be taken care of by the MUD or HOA until we get to an agreement.
Okay.
Or annexed.
Thank you.
I have just a weird question. What if you can't get into an agreement?
It'll be maintained by those guys. We won't have any responsibility for it.
This is phase 1 of this project, that's correct?
This one,
This is still phase 1, it's section 2, I
Yes.
believe.
Phase 1, section 2?
yes.
Yeah, it seems like a really large project. I mean, this is 72 acres out of a possible, what, 348? So like, what's going to change when they go to phase 2 and 3? Is the developer going to continue to maintain all roads, or will this
Correct.
transition to another entity?
No, it'll stay with the MUD or HOA. I think that will stay with it.
Is this single-family
Yes,
homes?
yes.
Yes.
And does the city feels comfortable with this agreement that they'll be maintained to the
Yes.
quality that's necessary?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, the city is working currently with the developer's attorney to come up with the process as well as the agreement for the maintenance and exactly how that looks. We're still trying to currently ballpark kind of what that maintenance cost may be to either of the entities and working out what it looks like for a timeline as far as the project coming into maintenance by the city. So that's still forthcoming, but not to delay or pause the movement of the preliminary plat in this regard. But that's something that we're looking to at least have kind of nailed down and finalized by the time it becomes a final plat for you guys to review.
I know we have a representative from West Bastrop Village. Did you want to add anything?
Thank you for your service. My name's Meyer Gepp. We're the owners of West Bastrop Village. We've been working with the city for probably 17, 18 years now to realize this community. We have a planned unit development with y'all, a planned development agreement with you all. We also have a wholesale water and wastewater agreement, meaning that we have 3 different agreements with you all. And within our planned development agreement, it basically says that the county, the roads to be county roads, public roads, and we followed that instruction and submitted our plat last week, and the county has expressed a disinterest in being able to maintain those roads because it's built to a higher standard. And so we have agreed to move the process forward to see if we can work something out with the city as far as maintenance with the roads as explained. And so it's a big section. We're excited about it. It has regional detention, satisfies Atlas 14. It has both rear load for traditional neighborhood development, very walkable, about front porches, all that sort of stuff. And it also has some traditional front load in there. And then there is one larger lot, perhaps multifamily, single family for rent, something of that nature. And then one commercial lot that's right up at our frontage. Is there anything else I can answer?
Yes, real quick. Thank you, Myra. Can you just introduce yourself to everyone real quick so they know who you are?
So I'm Myra Gepp with West Bastrop Village.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any other questions for Myra?
Okay.
It's
Super.
a little
What
bit off
David
topic.
does.
Sorry, this might be a little bit off topic because it's not about the streets, but that is a very wooded area. Is the plan to save some of the trees, or is this going to be clear cut like the thing that just happened north of 71?
So, no, in the respects of what happened off of 71, but all of our communities, we have tree-lined streets, and so we go back and we plant. So we have pretty much 30 to 40 foot on center trees for street trees. We believe in that shade. It helps with heat island effect on the roads as well as shading pedestrians. And so in our open spaces and so forth, we'll try to keep those. But this is a mass grading exercise in order to meet all of our compliance with the builders themselves, ADA compliance, and make it very walkable. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am?
If I can translate that back.
Yeah.
You take out the trees and you replant trees.
Yes, we
Okay.
do. Yes, yes. We'd be really excited if the city would bring some reclaim out and explore that utility. And I'm willing to offer my services in any noodling that needs to happen.
Maybe one day.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? All right. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Myra.
I make a motion to approve item 3D as stated.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. PJ, you ready to call roll?
Judah Ross,
Yes.
Ashley Henson,
Yes.
Ishmael Harris,
Yes.
David Barrow,
Yes.
Gary Moss,
Yes.
and Patrice Parsons.
Yes.
Let the record show we had a unanimous decision. Congratulations. All right. On item 4, updates. Future development related items. We have anything? No? All right. So, all right, we're going to move to item 4C, individual requests from Planning and Zoning Commission members. Oh, 4B, sorry, I went right past it, sorry. Thank you. 4B, we need development services Department Monthly Project Volume Report.
Let's see, all right. So I think totals for this month, it is down here at the bottom. I think we're at close to 257, I believe, is what we're sitting at for all of our permits and everything else that we've for intake this year for August. Any questions on that?
Just curious on the trend we're seeing year over year from last year?
That's a fine question.
If you know
I
offhand.
don't have
Okay.
the answer. I can find out for you.
No worries.
Yeah. I would anticipate it being higher than the previous few years just due to the influx of development and everything else that's
Right,
going on.
yeah, I'm sure. No, it's because you're so high, right?
All right.
Okay, yeah, we gotta get you we have to get you an extension, or you gotta drop down, Doug.
All right.
It worked great for Myra because she was right there in front of
All
it.
right. I'll just be slumped over. All right. Yeah, so any other questions or anything on this one? Good.
No?
Looks like our total trade permits between mechanicals 45, electrical 44, plumbing and 41 for a total of 130. I think that's on par for what we've seen in the past, or in the previous months. I don't think it's a big influx there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, now we're on to item 4C, individual requests from P&Z Commission members.
I have one. I currently represent the Planning and Zoning Commission on the Historical Commission, and I need to step down. I need somebody else on this commission to step up. My husband is ill, and I need to be able to spend more time at home. I just can't do meetings after meetings after meetings at night. So if someone else would be willing to do it, it's not a heavy lift. They don't even meet every month. The meetings don't last long. Great group of folks. I need some help. So if anybody else would consider doing that, that would be great.
So if y'all can consider it, and what we'll end up doing is putting it on the agenda for the next meeting, and then we'll take a vote on it. So if everyone could take some time to think about it, and maybe we can get it to the other commissioners, and then get that on the agenda for next time.
Sure, we can include the new folks too. Yep.
Okay. And thank you, Pete.
So I have a couple of questions on maybe something to put on the agenda for future. Are we ever going to talk about the empty buildings in downtown with one that's about to happen as well? Just adding another empty building downtown? Kind of worried about that. There's a lot of business owners that don't really like empty neighbors.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, we can look into that. We can put it on the agenda.
Got anything? Ashley?
Did you ever get a follow-up from the other question around licenses for like bars? No. I think that would be a good thing that could probably complement that.
Yeah, I would like an
earlier
update on
question.
that because a couple of meetings ago I asked, what is the city's rules on bars? Because I've read that there's a couple of different times that they have to stop, and is there a cap on certain things in the central business district? And then what is the city doing for potential entertainment for the thriving community that we're building here?
Gotcha. Yes, I think we can, we'll research the information on the bars and come up with a plan for entertainment. We can circle back on that.
I'm sure we've talked about it, but I know we hadn't really, I know it's been brought up, parking, right? Like, as we grow, like, I think that's something that needs to be majorly addressed. It became fresh to my mind last weekend,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. So if we have any ideas or things, like maybe, I know we've talked about stuff in the past and things have been shot down or maybe not really pushed forward, but I think it's time to revisit some of those ideas and thoughts. Just, I mean, because we have to do something with the downtown area.
Okay, I was just about to ask, just for our clarity, what area you're...
The downtown area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we have anything else?
Somebody wants to take our picture?
Yeah.
The last thing that I've got for you guys, I had sent out that email about the top 3 achievements for over the past year. I think what will be best is just to, if you guys just want to send me back the forms, I can fill it out based off of your guys' input, and then that way I can compile it, and then we'll present it at the October Boards and Commissions banquet.
You got a deadline on that for us?
2 weeks.
You should give us a deadline, Doug.
All right. 2 weeks.
What day is the banquet?
It's
The 26th.
October 26th, yeah.
So if we could have those back from you on
The
October 13th, is that good enough time for you guys?
2
Yeah,
weeks from now.
October 13th.
It's
That
a
way we
Friday.
can have it in the packet ahead of time, or that next week. and we won't
Sure,
be scrambling.
we'll take that date, so when we don't get it on that day, we can just blame it on Friday the 13th. So, all right.
That's perfectly fine.
All right, do we have anything else?
I guess since it's relevant, I cannot remember your first name, Myra, but Myra mentioned something around like reclaim, kind of what do we do when we're going to a heavily wooded area and removing, kind of blanking that area? Like, can we get creative around what we do with those trees? Can we explore possibilities there? I think it would be interesting and should be something that we consider.
Yeah, we can look into different forms of that. If there's any, specific thing that you're looking for or would like to see, then we can definitely go down that path. I don't know if you have anything in mind offhand.
Can we have, Myra has her hand up. Are we allowed to have her, allow her to speak, or she'd have to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Microphone,
Definitely,
please.
please come up to the
Yeah,
microphone.
we got to be able to hear you, and so does the audience watching.
Okay. So sometimes there's a lot of post oaks here, and post oaks have a limited life. And so if you think about if there is shredding that needs to happen to do proper earthwork to have for roads and foundations, because we want those things to be solid, it'd be great if you could actually shred those trees on site and use them as your erosion control. And then, and as well, you could use it for trails and other materials or compost for part of that project. And so it's a way to avoid the trucking off-site to a facility. And so you're using less gas mileage and all that sort of stuff, less wear and tear on your streets, and keeping it on the site and multi-using it. So just sort
Is
of
that
recycling
not currently
it.
allowed? By the city?
A lot of times, specific for erosion control, people, the inspectors like to see that silt fence. And silt fence is challenging because sometimes it blows out or it obstructs an inlet and may cause more problems if the inlet is too clogged and then the water just spills over and erodes another area. So it's a way that you can build little berms and the water can flow through slower. It slows and lessens the impacts from that rainfall event. And so there's lots of creative ways to do that. And if the city has a trail program, they can harness that for their use, lots of different ways.
What currently happens now, when they clearly
For the sake of not getting too far off topic, I just ask that any other kind of questions we can compile and try to get some more information on or bring to a future meeting.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do that. I think we put it on the agenda to talk about this some more. I think it's great. What she was suggesting are great ideas.
Okay.
Perfect. That's in the TJ, so can't you do it anyway if you want? Okay. You do.
Wait, we need to hold up on the questions and save them for the next time.
Just because it hasn't been agendized.
Yeah, it hasn't been
I don't want to get too far into it, but we can look into it, get some more specifics, and maybe even invite Myra back since she has such an extensive knowledge on it.
Myra, I'm sure you'll come back. You look like you're excited to talk about it. Yeah, so it sounds like we need to save it for next time anyway. All right, great questions. We got anything else? All right, who's gonna take our beauty shots, or are we gonna hold up until we have more members?
No, I think we can go ahead and take them. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Do we need to make a motion to adjourn before the pictures or after?
Yeah, we can go ahead and adjourn and just stick around for the pictures afterwards.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? We have adjourned. Thank y'all.